Hello, my friends. This is 327 Starman. It's April 10th, 2014, and this is a very special video I'm making. This will be my tribute video about the recent passing of the Ultimate Warrior. And I could when I heard about the Warrior passing a few days ago, I just couldn't believe could believe that happened. I still couldn't believe it. And so, like I said, in this video, this will be my own tribute to the Warrior. I'll discuss, you know, how I got into wrestling, meet the Warrior, and all that stuff. So, yeah, then so when I first started watching wrestling, it was actually in at the end of spring, early summer of '89, and if you looked at my YouTube channel, where it's my YouTube channel where it says it says videos, discussion, and about. If you click on the about, you'll see a small description of you know how I became a wrestling fan. Um, when I first started watching it, the first wrestler that caught my eye, of course, was Hulk Hogan. He was the WWF champion at the time, and then and then after later on, I see other wrestlers that come in, and then I find out, oh, this wrestler's a bad guy. This one's a good guy. That tag team is a good guy. Those tag teams are bad guys. Get to know which one is which. And the second wrestler, of course, that caught my eye was, in fact, the Ultimate Warrior. And when I first saw him on TV and as a kid, and I was like, is this guy a superhero or what? He's really cool. It's because he has the face paint, he has these muscles and all these colored his outfits and everything. I was like, wow, something. And then of course when his theme song hits, he's running towards the ring, and going around the ring, going on top and just shaking the ropes, and then doing the gorilla press move. Um, and he was like so hyper and everything. I was like, yeah, this wrestler's pretty cool. I like him, and it was just something. And um, when I heard the next pay per view coming up was SummerSlam. Yeah, SummerSlam, and he was going to face this one wrestler named Ravishing Rick Rude to for the Intercontinental Championship. And when I saw Ravishing Rick Rude, I was like, well, he has like big muscles too, and I was like, was him and the Warrior used to be a tag team? Or they used to be friends, or what's up? What's going on? So, but then later on, I found out they were never friends. They were never tag team partners. So they were just two big guys, and they were they were going at it each other, and and that's when I found out in WrestleMania 5, where Ravishing Rick Rude was facing the Ultimate Warrior for the Intercontinental title, and Rick Rude cheated to steal the belt. So, and then when it leads up to SummerSlam. But I remember like a few weeks before or a month before SummerSlam, the Warrior was doing an interview with me and Gene, and in that interview he vows to the Warrior said he promised to win back the Intercontinental belt for his fans and his Warriors, and 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 of course I was I was an Ultimate Warrior fan, and I was like, yeah, you win, Warrior, win the belt back. And SummerSlam came, and he faced Rick Rude, and at the time I didn't know about pay per views, how to order the pay per view, because I thought it's going to show up on TV, like Superstars or Wrestling Challenge. So I was like trying to find it. Where is it? Where is it? And so, but I never found the channel for it, so I was like a little disappointed. So I was like, okay. So the next weekend, I want to find out if the Warrior won the belt, and he did. Um, and when I found out the Warrior won the belt, the Intercontinental belt back, I was like so I was like seeing him winning that belt, and just that title itself. I just love that title from that point on. I mean, it was like it's like the to me was like the main belt because the Warrior won and he promised for his Warriors he will win it back, and he did. And then like I just like fell in love with that title belt. I just love that belt so much. And I remember one time, and then I remember the first time I went to a WWF event it was at the LA Sports Arena. It was like me and my parents. We went to that event, um, and I remember thinking, I want to get the Intercontinental belt, those foam title belts that they were selling, because they were. I remember I was looking at the magazine. They were selling two through the magazine. Oh, I want to. I was like telling my mom, please, can we buy this one belt for me? And she's like, yeah, if they have it, we'll see. And so, of course, they had all three belts: the tag team belts, the Intercontinental belt, and then the WWF title belt. And so when I found out they had the Intercontinental belt, saying, "Hey, let's get it," and my mom got it for me, and that's when I got this one when I was little, the old classic Intercontinental foam belt. That was the very first one, and I was like so excited playing with this belt. So I was like, yeah, this is my favorite belt of all time, and this and that. So it's it's really cool, and I still have it to this day. You know, it's really really cool, like very classical. And of course, over the years, watching wrestling, seeing the Warrior do his thing, going through made it to Royal Rumble, made it to WrestleMania 6, facing Hogan. That that one was unreal. Seeing my two favorite wrestlers of all time, going at it, champion versus champion, title for title. Both titles were on the line, and it was like the first time ever. So at the time I was a big Hulk Hogan fan. I was more for Hogan than the Warrior because I was like I want Hogan to win, but I don't want Warrior to lose either. I'm like, oh, I was like going back and forth, and I hope, and I know it wasn't just me; it was like other, fans too, the same way. But the match was set; it was unbelievable, and the Warrior won the match. And you know, after that, Hogan presented him the belt, raised his hand, and then they show each other mad respect for each other. It was, unreal. And of course, the Warrior later on, the Warrior had to relinquish the Intercontinental title because, according to the rules, he's not supposed to have two belts. Only he's supposed to have one. So they relinquished the Intercontinental title, hold a tournament for the next champion to determine the next champion. And so the Warrior kept the WWF title. He went through SummerSlam, Survivor Series, till Royal Rumble when he dropped the belt to Sergeant Slaughter, and he went to WrestleMania 7 to face Macho King Randy Savage for a career-ending match, and then the Warrior, Warrior's next pay per view was SummerSlam '91, tagging with Hogan against Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, and Colonel Mustafa. It was a 3-on-2 handicap match, and after that, the Warrior disappeared, and then WrestleMania 8 showed up, and at the end, Hogan was in trouble, was getting double teamed, and then suddenly the Warrior's theme song hits, and here comes the Warrior running from running from backstage to the aisle to the ring. And if you see WrestleMania, if you have WrestleMania 8 or you've seen it, you can see how long the walkway is from the curtain to the ring. It's a very long, and the Warrior was running towards the ring, going fast as he could. But when the Warrior music hits, when I first heard it, I was like going crazy. I was like, "Wow, the Warrior's back! The Warrior's back!" And then the fans, of course, in the arena was going crazy too. And then, of course, he saved Hogan, and then they're both Hogan and the Warrior. You know, fireworks are going off, and everyone's cheering, this and that. It was unbelievable. It was great. And then he had this. He had a few feuds going on, and then until Survivor Series 90, yeah, Survivor Series 92. Um, he was supposed to be he was supposed to be in that period with Macho Man tagging with against Ric Flair and Razor Ramon, but I guess things happened. I don't know what happened, and the Warrior didn't. They took the Warrior out of the match, and then it was not until summer. No, it was not until '96 at WrestleMania 12 when the Warrior came back, uh, face Hunter Hearst Helmsley at WrestleMania 12. It was a quick match, but seeing the Warrior again is like, and I really wanted to go to WrestleMania 12 because it was in Anaheim, California, and I lived so close to Anaheim at the time. But I was like begging my mom, "Okay, we get tickets," and saying, but tickets were so expensive for a pay per view, and it was no way to get it. So I was like, disappointed doing that. So, but at least I watched it on pay per view, and um, they saw that, and then he stayed till the Warrior stayed till I think till June of the King of the Ring that year, and then after that he left, and then he showed up in WCW, and then for a while, and then after that he disappeared, and then the Warrior did his own things, I guess, and then later, like in 2000, somewhere in the 2000s, WWE made a DVD about the Warrior, the self destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, and you know I couldn't believe the things that were talking about the Warrior about. I was like, no, this is not true. There's no way the Warrior can did the things that they said that they were doing. That's just ridiculous. And of course the Warrior said his own thing on his YouTube channel that that's not true, this and that. And so and then over the years, the Warrior did his like his speeches. I guess he did a couple matches for some other wrestling promoters, and it was yeah, it was pretty good. And I remember this one match he had it was him the Warrior against Orlando Jordan. I don't know where it took place. I forgot, but it's on. I bet it's on YouTube for that match, so you can check that match out. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then in 2009, no 2012, yeah, 2012, I was at SummerSlam Access, and before going in, there was this guy handing out these flyers for come meet this wrestler at Frankenson's collectibles show. And at the time, I didn't know about Frankenson's, so I grabbed one of the flyers, and on the flyer it mentioned, "Come meet Bret the Hitman Hart at Frankenson's on April 1st, 2012." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I just went. I went to Frankenson's and to check this place out, and it's this huge warehouse building, a bunch of you know stuff inside. So excuse me. It's very 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 cool place, and they sold like old school toys, comic books, trading cards, sports memorabilia, autographs. Even from wrestlers, from baseball players, football players. It was a pretty awesome place. Um, and then that's where I met Victor Pritchard running the Gemini Sports Cars, and then he mentioned about the Bret the Hitman Hart signing, and so I got a ticket to get his autograph. So on that day, um, I met Bret Hart, and I got his autograph, and um, he autographed my classic intercontinental, the yellow strap intercontinental title belt, which I'll show you in a few minutes. Um, that's the first signature on that belt. But and at the time, I didn't want to get like a photo with a wrestler. I just thinking, autographs is there's that's cool. I mean, photos ops are awesome too. But I don't know. I was just like, should I get a photo or not? I don't know. Still debating. But I was mostly getting autographs, and then um, at Frankenstein's I met Bret Hart, and then next month later, Victor had a Matt Hardy there too, the following month, and at the Matt Hardy signing, that's where he was going to make a big announcement about the next wrestler that's going to be happening. And that's coming to Frankenstein's, and it was none other than the Ultimate Warrior. I was like blown away when he said that. It's like I was like, the Ultimate Warrior, the Ultimate Warrior is coming to Frankenstein's. I was like, unfreaking real. I was like, I am getting my ticket for meeting the Warrior. I mean, that's like huge. So so I bought a VIP ticket for meeting the Warrior at Frankenstein's, and they were only selling 150 VIP tickets, and the rest were just either autographs or photos or just regular autographs or photos, whatever you like. And when I got my VIP ticket, I was like number 25. Yeah, number 20. Yeah, number 25 in line. So they were gonna have all the people lining up in order of the number of their ticket number. So of course I was the 25th person in line. And I heard stories like about how when Warrior does his signings, he takes his time with every single person that he meets for these signings. I mean, he talks to you for a few minutes, and then make sure he's signs the way he wants you to sign it, personalize it, or wants you like take a picture with him and say make sure the picture looks all right. If it doesn't, we'll take another one. So it's all and it's true when you ever if you ever met the Warrior in person to get autograph or photo, that's his how he does his signings. And like I said, I was the 25th person in line. I stood in line for maybe hour a good hour and 15 minutes in line, and I was the 25th person in the VIP, and it was a huge crowd there too. And oh, it was unbelievable. And but when it was finally my turn to meet the Warrior, I was completely starstruck. Meeting this wrestler, meeting him, seeing this guy when I was a kid, you know, watching him growing up, I was like, I couldn't believe it. It's him. Actually the Warrior, and it's unbelievable to meet him. It was like a tremendous honor to meet him, and he was so nice and very friendly guy and very cool. And when, um, of course, he autographed my intercontinental, the yellow strap intercontinental title, and then he autographed this SummerSlam T-shirt that I have that it's full of signatures. Once I got that shirt all filled up with signatures, I'll make a video for that one. But yeah, yeah, he signed those two, and then of course the picture. And I definitely wanted a picture with the Warrior with this and this is actually the very first picture of a wrestler that I have done. So after I met the Warrior, like all the wrestlers I'm gonna meet after the Warrior, I'm gonna ask for a picture for it, because the Warrior was the first one. I wanted to do it, and then I was thinking, I got a picture with the Warrior. I'm gonna take pictures with all the wrestlers I ever met. So that's what I've been doing up to this point, and I'm still gonna do it all the way. And right here, and I'll show you this the picture of the Warrior and me at Frankensons. It's on November 10th, 2012, and that's me with the Warrior holding my Intercontinental belt. And like I said, this was a real honor to meet the Warrior on that day. And then of course after that, always wondering, with Victor, it's like, when are you gonna bring the Warrior back? You gotta bring the Warrior back. You have to, man. And hopefully maybe he will, maybe someday. But he's like, you never know. You never know. I was like, come on, Victor. So yeah, and then of course when I found out about the Warrior finally being inducted to the Hall of Fame, and then his new DVD he made, I definitely bought that DVD. It's a real good DVD. Real good DVD. I highly recommend it. If you're a Warrior fan or a wrestling fan, get the new Warrior DVD. I definitely recommend that one. And of course, the Hall of Fame showed up, and then he made an appearance at WrestleMania 30, and then um, oh yeah, if you ever heard the Warrior's speech at the Hall of Fame, where he mentioned, you know, thanking the fans were like saying, "Thank you, Warrior, thank you, Warrior," and the Warrior was like, "Thank you, because if it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be an Ultimate Warrior. They wouldn't be, Ultimate Warrior fans like you. I wouldn't, do this. It wasn't for you, and this and that." And I remember saying, and then looking back, I remembering when I was at the Warrior signing, I mentioned that to him too. Thanking him, what you've done for the ring, and he said the same thing to me. No, thank you. It was for fans like you watching the Warrior, knowing about the Warrior's legacy, keep the legacy alive, and this and that. And it's 100%. It's 100% true. It's 100% true what the Warrior said in his induction speech, definitely. And then, of course, at WrestleMania 30, he made an appearance. And then, of course, the Raw after that, he showed up and he made his little, something to say. And, and of course, the next night, that's what happened. Well, I found out what happened with the Warrior. Um, yeah, I was at work. And yeah, I was at work, and I was checking my phone, and then I found out I had two missed calls, and from a couple of friends, and I had a text message from one of my friends saying, "Did you hear about what happened with the Warriors? So sad." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I looked at Facebook, and it was all over Facebook. The WWE Facebook page, the Spotlight, TMZ, all my friends' posts mentioned that the Warrior passed away this afternoon. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you really serious?" And I looked at it, and everything. I was like, wow. I just couldn't believe it. And after, you know, I made my own post about the Warrior, saying I just recently found out that one of my favorite wrestlers of all time passed away, and thanking the Warrior for all his memories and this and all that stuff. And of course, my condolences go to um, his family, his friends, and of course the Warrior fans too, but especially his family. His mom, his wife, and his two daughters, especially them. Can Just can't believe it. And of course, after I found out about the Warriors passing, I decided to want to make this tribute video of the Warrior, and that's what I'm doing. It's my own way of, thanking the Warrior for all the special moments, the matches, the way you entertain the fans. We'll never forget that. And of course, in closing, I'll read the speech that he made on Monday Night Raw, where he said that no WWE talent becomes a legend on their own. Every man's heart one day beats its final beat. His lungs breathe his final breath. And if what that man did in his life makes the blood pulse through the body of others and makes them bleed deeper and something larger than life, then his essence, his spirit, will be immortalized. In the back, I see many potential legends, some with warrior spirits, and you will do the same for them. You will decide if they lived with a passion and intensity, so much so that you will tell your stories and you will make them legends as well. I am the Ultimate Warrior. You are the Ultimate Warrior fans. We are the Ultimate Warrior fans. And the spirit of the Ultimate Warrior will run forever. Indeed, it will run forever. Now, the last thing I will do is I'll play the full version of the Ultimate Warriors theme song on this video. And while doing that, I'll set this up for you guys. What I'll do is I'll put my Intercontinental belt for the Warrior. I'll set up my two figures of the Warrior. There. There we go. There we go. Yeah, should be good. All right, and I'll set the theme song for you, and I just hope it's not too loud for you guys. So just give me a warning. All right, we'll start this the theme song in 3, 2, 1, play.
May the warrior spirit run forever. I will leave the link for the theme song on the description of this video. And as always, thank you for watching this video of the tribute of the Ultimate Warrior. This has been 327 Starman, and you guys have a wonderful day.